Hey, we're live on the air.
Live.
Well.
Greetings to our bilocational listeners that are in Las Vegas and Banff at the same time.
Good thing we're talking about coordinates tonight, because apparently somebody is going to need them.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, I got a tweet. There's
Did
a
you?
podcast at the same time.
Good thing we're talking about coordinates tonight, because apparently somebody is going to need them.
Apparently, yeah. That was a really weird delayed echo.
Well, yes, it was. Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Okay. Let's play some music, record some audio.
Just once, though, okay? I don't want to hear myself again.
I have to open up the web page or the live page to get elements off of there. And I forget to close it because, well, you know. And then eventually it starts playing. Are you ready? You're kicking us off tonight.
Oh, wait. Okay, I should leave the Cubs game here and then go over to the show notes.
You could at least be watching football on Twitter.
I think that game's pretty much over.
Oh, I didn't watch any football on Twitter.
I didn't watch it on Twitter, but I saw the score with a minute and a half to go was a pretty big lead for somebody.
Okay, here we go.
Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. This is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the Great Pacific Northwest, and we'll talk about caches and cachers unique to this little corner of the country. So, prepare to wander around in circles. It's time to go caching in the Northwest.
And, of course, we have to bring in our missing monkey. Some say he can actually spend time with his family, even on a podcast night.
Really? Say it ain't so.
So.
Okay. Well, you know, we do say it all the time. Family first. That's one of the main reasons we have a 3-host format on this show. The vast majority of the time, there are at least 2 hosts on the podcast. Usually one of them is Canadian, but not tonight. And if there isn't, well, I have been known to ramble on by myself.
Yes. And, you know, you do a very good job, whether we're here or not. So
sometimes I do it even without the podcast going.
Oh.
Just saying.
Interesting. Well, we want to thank our Denali level supporters. That's Limax and the Mount Vernon Parks and Recs Department. If you want to know more about supporting the show, click on the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website.
Yes, thank you for them. Round of snaps. Okay.
Now, tonight we are talking about coordinates and how to get the best coordinates out of the devices you have. But,
yes,
as we're wont to do, before we get going, let's start glowing.
Oh, that's right. This segment is called Glow, or the Geocaching Log of the Week. Whether it's something you wrote or something you read or something you found while surfing logs, you know, if it's great, we want to hear about it. So send us an email, feedback@cachingnw.com, or give us a call, 253-693-TFTC. You can also use the voicemail tool over on the website at cachingnw.com. It's really cool. Go give it a shot. However you do it, just do it and show us how you glow.
That's right. This glow came in from Alaska ER Doc.
Oh.
Alaska ER Doc found the cuckoo clock. Sorry, go ahead.
So it's not just Acre Doc?
Acre Doc. Yeah.
Okay.
It's an entire acre.
Oh, yeah.
This cache that he found called Cuckoo Clock, that's GC4H Delta 1 Hotel, only has 4 finds, but 28 logs. He starts off, "Today was a very depressing day. My daughter and I were able to find the final stage, only to find that we missed some information in the previous stages that we needed for the final. We have hiked all over this mountain, well over 20 miles, and climbed up and down thousands of feet through some of the thickest brush I have ever seen, only to find we won't be able to find the final. I don't think I'm up to doing this all over again to get the missing information. Oh well, we gave it a good go and had a good time together. Thanks for the challenge. Sorry we won't be able to complete it though. He says, if anybody else wants to start this ordeal, please contact me for advice.
And that's the log of, no, it's not just the log of the week. It goes on. You thought that was it, but there's more. That was on the 18th of August. This is 3 days later on the 21st. He writes, thanks for such an amazing adventure. This is far and away the most rewarding cache I have ever found. I've lived on this mountain for 30 years, but I've never been to the places you've taken me. This is the most challenging cache I have ever attempted. It was hard work, but worth every minute of it. My daughter and I had an incredible time together working on the cuckoo clock. We spent many hours together hiking up and down hills through brush thick, usually, and thin, very rarely, and high. The morning of August 21st dawned wet and drizzly. I had lots of things to do, and I had to get to work by 11 a.m. for a 12-hour shift, but I couldn't let this go another day. I got my daughter up early, and off we went to look for the final stage of the cuckoo clock, just to prove that we were not really crazy after all. It paid off. There's a cache, and with a little help from the not-so-evil twins, we were able to make the find. IRB and MLB said in their note on the cache, however, when we noted the number of contour lines we would cross, we declined to continue. What is wrong with you people? They had no idea of how many contour lines have to be crossed. Their comment is an understatement of massive proportions. A word to those of you who follow, if any of you are cuckoo enough to try. First of all, you should try to find this amazing cache. It is an experience of a lifetime. Make sure that you look at everything in the intermediate stages with your UV light, hint, and take pictures of everything, especially anything with something that stands out in the UV light. You will need it to find the final. Sometimes things that are important can be very subtle.
When will you earthlings learn?
That's right.
I thought that was a great makeup for not finding it. And then he actually went back, did all the stages again. So great find, Alaska ER Doc. I forgot what state he was in. And I thought it was great. However, when we noted the number of contour lines we would have to cross.
Yeah, and if you're not into topology maps, that doesn't mean much to you, but that's significant.
Yeah, if you understand topo maps, you understand the work involved in crossing one of those lines. So we cross lines all the time, but there's no maps involved.
Yeah, that's entirely different.
Yeah. But speaking of crossing lines, no. More of a picket line. No, it's not it either. GJIF events, they're coming. Whether you're ready for them or not, November 3rd through the 6th, there's going to be GJIF events all over the world. Now, we have one. Same place we went last year, right here at a local university. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's one near you. In fact, I know of one up in the Vancouver area being planned by somebody we all know and love.
Mrs. Land Monkey?
Yes.
Okay.
She's the envy of geocachers everywhere.
Absolutely.
From what I understand, it was released and it's nearly full. There's limited seating available. So.
Yeah, all those crazy Canadians. They've got to do something because, well, Toronto's out of baseball now.
What else are they going to do?
I know, yeah. We're down to 3 games here in the final postseason baseball play. And American League, Cleveland has clinched their ticket. They're going to start the World Series next week. So you get the Cleveland Cavaliers have won the NBA this year. The Cleveland Indians are going to be in the World Series this year. And the Cleveland Browns are going to win first draft pick.
That's right.
So it's a win for Cleveland all the way around. And I think if you really fudge it a little bit, I think Cleveland's kind of in the northwest of Ohio.
If you really have to fudge it. It's
well, you know.
It's like the northwest of Pennsylvania.
Oh, there you go. But, hey.
So the Cubbies are out?
No, Cubbies are ahead right now. Survey says top of the ninth.
That's right. Yeah.
Top of the ninth. Cubs are up 8-2 over the Dodgers. with Addison Russell on first. So, Cubs look to take this game and go back to Wrigley Field on Saturday. It's an exciting postseason, and I'm having fun.
Hey, Limax says, I get contour lines mixed up with trails. Not if you cross enough of them.
Yeah, not for long. All right, so GIF events, Glow, baseball playoffs. You know what else is happening?
Do tell.
Why, the State Parks Free Day is coming up. That would be on Veterans Day, November 11th. Hats off to all veterans. And our notes say, don't miss out on the next free day at any Washington State Park on November 11th. Fall, is a great time to get outdoors and admire all the changing colors. Take a brisk hike, spend a day fishing, or go for a bike ride with friends. Washington State Parks offer a variety of terrain marked by contour lines and recreational opportunities for all your outdoor interest. And you know what? There's also several geocaches in Washington State Parks to be found. Probably with some bushwhacking and contour lines, but you never know.
Yeah, but you can do it for freezies.
That's right.
If you like it, go ahead and buy one of those Discover passes.
Yeah, and it's a great day to go up there because you're probably out of school or off work anyway, some people.
For the veterans of us all. Thank you, veterans. We really appreciate you.
Absolutely.
We probably wouldn't be here being able to talk freely about contour lines without veterans.
Mm-hmm.
But, last week, just a couple of days ago, it seems, I went and did the Auburn Geocaching Adventure 2016. We had Peach right on this very show talking about it.
I remember.
She did a fabulous job. 20 brand new caches in the Auburn area, all in parks this time for the Auburn parks. Very well done. I met up with Buddy and Kitsy Meow, and we were able to knock out all 20 in reasonable time. We didn't rush through them, and didn't get any FTFs this year.
Well, probably because you did it during Stormageddon, the storm of the century.
The storm of the century.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I think there's more wind right now than there was last weekend.
Yeah. It's good to be a meteorologist. You can be so wrong and still so right.
If I was as wrong as a meteorologist, I don't think I'd have my job. Though we came across one, what do you want to say, retention pond. It had a chain link fence around it, but you could barely see the top of the chain link fence. It was a bit overflowed, shall we say.
Well, I'm sorry I couldn't join you this time. I had a personal commitment that I couldn't make it up there, but it sounds like a splendid time was had by all.
It was. Those caches are still out there. They ordered 300 coins. You can still go get those caches. Go get one of those wonderful coins. Mm-hmm. You will not be sorry.
Yeah, I know last year Subway Mark came up and did the series after the event was over so you could get that coin. It's a great coin. Last year's. I don't know. I haven't seen this year's, but so.
This one's from Field to Flight.
Oh, wonderful. Last year was trains. So, right. Subway Mark was interested in that, as was I.
Last year was trains. This year's was planes. You know what next year's has to be?
Rental cars. 4 wheels and a seat.
That's all you're looking for.
Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right. That was our rating if you say it properly. Okay.
Well, let's get off that subject and get on to tonight's subject, shall we?
Please.
You know what tonight is all about? Tonight is all about
lines?
Contour lines. That's it. We're done. Sayonara. No. Tonight is about techniques to help you, yes, you, get the best coordinates you can out of your GPSR device, perhaps while sitting on a bus stop bench waiting, bopping your head to a theme song. It could happen.
Whether you're using a cell phone or a dedicated GPSR, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. Now, we're not going to tell you how to record a waypoint on all these different devices or apps. That's something that you are going to have to work out on your own.
That's right. The first thing the first step I always try to make, get a clear view of the sky if you can. That makes it so much easier because, their GPS satellite bird things Well, they're up in the sky. So the clearer view of the sky you can get, the better. So trees, buildings, hills, cliffs, all those things can block or bounce the signal and give you inaccurate readings. So place all of your caches out in the middle of an open field. No.
Montana should give you great GPS signal.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
Big
and
sky country.
I don't think anybody is going to mind if you cut a few trees down around your cache just so you can get. No, that is sarcasm, folks. Do not do that. Comments about cutting trees down should go to Land Monkey at. Oh, never mind. But in a nutshell, anything tall and between you and the sky can interfere with your signal. But did you know that also changes to the air in the upper atmosphere and ionosphere, why that can also affect accuracy? Here you're trying to get a clear view of the sky, and the sky itself can be, well, your worst enemy. Neither a GPS or a smartphone will give you an exact position. For that, you need multi-million-dollar government devices. At best, you'll get an accuracy of 10 to 15 feet. That's 3 to 5 meters for our friends up north. And obstructions can lead to an accuracy of, anywhere from 5 to 30 feet, sometimes even more. 6 to 10 meters, by the way. Sometimes it can be far worse. So move around. See if you can get better accuracy.
It didn't seem that long ago, but it was. We attended a workshop at your radio club.
That was a little while ago.
And they talked about signal degradation in the upper atmosphere. And, I really came away thinking it's a miracle we get any signal at all.
It is.
With everything being bounced around up there. So, one of the best things you can do is stop moving, and let your device settle. Give your GPSR good time to get a good lock on the satellites. You want to allow plenty of time for your GPSR or smartphone, whatever you're using, to get a good, accurate reading. This can take 10 minutes. Most people can't sit still for 10 minutes, especially if you're at a coffee shop with all that caffeine in you. And it can take longer if you don't have a good signal. If you've got trees above you, if you've got, tall buildings, if there's dust in the air, I don't know what. If your device can show the number of satellites being received, that's all the better, because it'll let you know more satellites equals a better signal, better location.
Yeah, just follow the philosophy of America. More is better.
That's right.
Yeah. And, this is a perfect time if you've got your children, significant other, what have you, along for the journey, and they're not into caching, well, have a picnic lunch and enjoy the time out in the outdoors. And set that GPSR down on the cache and let it average readings for a while and go enjoy some time with your family. How about that?
I like that idea.
It also helps sometimes to walk around where we talked about stopping and staying still, and that's great. But also moving away from your ground zero, your cache hide location, and coming back to it from different directions and then stopping and letting it settle, of course, can really help coordinates settle down, average those things out. And, well, it's time for math, boys and girls. How do you average things? Well, you take a waypoint of your device, you walk away, you approach the location from a different direction, you record those coordinates a second time when you come back, and then you repeat. Follow the shampoo marketing mantra, paraphrased, of lather, rinse, repeat. Walk, take a reading, and repeat. And then you average the last 3 digits of the north and the west coordinates. Chris of the NorthWest has put a nice, long, complicated math formula in the show notes. And I'm going to let you go look that up for yourself if you're still lost about how to average things. Typically, I just type equals AVG, equals average, and put it in parentheses in there. But that's something else.
Excel is your friend.
Let
me tell you. If you take 3 readings, averaging that is pretty easy. You could take hundreds of readings. In fact, there are programs that are designed to do this just for you. Or apps on your phone. Brian Lang says, make sure you get in your car and drive around in circles around your cache location.
Absolutely.
So averaging is good. If possible, use multiple devices. your phone, somebody else's phone that you just grabbed as they're walking down the street.
Yeah, find a random hiker and just ask to borrow their phone. They won't mind.
A phone and a GPS. Even Google Maps. Google Maps, now it's not entirely accurate, but it'll let you know, hey, you know what? This is relatively close.
And we say Google Maps because we're using the Googles for our podcast tonight, but really you could get away with, MapQuest, Bing Maps, or any of those other type of things, but we wouldn't admit that here on a Google themed or provided service. So use Google Maps.
The only reason I say Google Maps is with Bing and the other, I'm not able to see the coordinates easily off of those.
Yeah.
I think they're obfuscated. I can't say that word.
No, it was redacted.
They're hidden in such a way. Wed Coaster says you should bury magnets in the area near your cache.
Oh, yes. And Brian comments, even better, get a motion sensor and an electromagnet that turns on when a geocacher arrives near ground zero.
Zing. Oh,
I like it. I like these people. This is why I don't go caching with some of these people very often.
Yeah. Oh, IHAM says a person with a GPSR knows where they are. A person with two is never quite sure. He's been eating at Chinese restaurants again, hasn't he?
That does sound a bit like a fortune thing there.
Yes. But earlier on, Limac says it's time to go back to a map and compass.
Nothing wrong with that, really.
It's hard to find coordinates with a map and compass.
Adds to the difficulty of the cache, perhaps.
Oh, there you go.
And we know people that have found geocaches without a GPSR using just maps and online directions, but it's kind of hard. I guess you could hide it. I think the first cache I ever hid, I at least confirmed coordinates with an online mapping tool. Like I think it was Google Maps.
Mm-hmm. So. I know I did with at least one hide. I was like, you know what? I think that's good. Yeah, I'm going to use. And what I found out is that my readings were in the ballpark.
Yeah.
Within a couple of degrees.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice just to confirm that you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. Seconds. I should say within a couple of seconds. Within a couple of seconds. I said that within a couple of seconds.
Degree, minute, seconds.
Oh, man. Sorry. There you have it, folks. Those 4 tips. You know what? I'm going to put those in the show notes. Just so you know. Clear view. Stop. And then walk.
And then stop again.
Multiple devices. IHAM says, in all seriousness, how many iterations do you let your GPSR averaging go when taking a reading? Well, I think you're talking 2 different things. If you're taking a reading, you're not using an average. Now, if you want to take your readings and average them, take as many as you want. I don't want to get into specific GPSRs or apps that can do this. I know there are apps on both the iOS and Android platform that will do averaging for you. And the longer you leave them, the more averages you get. The more factors you get into your average. And I don't know if that helps over time. Brian Lang says, I use GPS averaging on my phone, an app. I don't bother walking back and forth and let it take 60 to 100 readings, depending on tree cover.
There you go.
So that's good. Now, if you're doing that manually, that's a lot of readings to work.
That's a lot of work manually.
But, I know most GPSRs now, well, and they're all Garmin. We have to say that, right? All GPSRs are Garmin now, for the most part. They have a coordinate averaging. I don't know if it's an app, a function. So they have that. You can get it on the phones. Limax says, does that work without Wi-Fi? Yes. I don't think you need Wi-Fi. In fact, I would turn off Wi-Fi if you're using the averaging with your phone. I know iOS devices use the Wi-Fi to help place you based on signal strength. I would tend to turn that off. Your GPSR is going, or your GPS app is going to complain, but I would turn that off. And all of those 60 to 100 readings takes 2 to 3 minutes.
Okay.
So Bryling says, yes, my Garmin has a built-in app to average a waypoint. And Limax says, I will keep using my Magellan until it quits working.
There you
He
go.
loves his Magellans.
Magellan made good products.
That's right. So averaging is good. If you
It's
average
average.
across multiple devices, you're even better.
You can live there,
I'm
Mr.
all
Northwest?
choked up about this.
I can tell.
This is really important to me.
All right, and the final out of the Dodger
There we
game
go.
came on a 102-mile-per-hour fastball. So there you go.
That's going to be in a puzzle cache somewhere, isn't it?
They're heading back to Wrigley on Saturday. Just saying.
Okay. Baseball. You got to love it. It's part of America.
I enjoy it.
Well, Wits End,
Yes, sir.
if people wanted to get a hold of you to work on some of these math problems,
Yep.
where would they go?
I'd be on my couch watching baseball as long as I can. But there's only a week or so of that left with the World Series coming up.
What about
Otherwise-
online?
Otherwise, you could go online. You could just look for Wits End and, well, almost any social media platform out there. Most of them, I think most of them are linked from a rarely updated and poorly developed blog at witsend.us. And you, sir?
Boy, I really want to go to that blog now. Just
That
go
makes
look
one
for-
of us.
Yeah. Just go look for Caching NW. That could be Twitter. That could be Facebook. That could be Google+. That could be .com. Or you can head over to cachingnw.com/hosts to read our bios because, you know, we're so interesting. And to find all the links that we just mentioned. You know what? Even though he's not here, let's tell you about Land Monkey.
Well, because he's the interesting one of the three.
That's right. You can go to his website. That's landmonkey.blogspot.ca. You can also check out his Instagram, his Twitter, his Periscope. That's at LandMonkeyGC. Facebook is Team Land Monkey. And the YouTubes, they're just Land Monkey.
All right. And
But-
we miss Land Monkey. We wish him well.
We do. He's traveling with his family, so everybody deserves time with their family.
Good times.
But we want to thank you, yes, you listener, for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget that you can be part of the show. Call 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask us a question, or count the number of lines in a topographical map any time of the day or night. Of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Don't forget that your support helps keep quality shows coming. If you like this show, referring to Caching in the Northwest, please click the Patreon link on the cachingnw.com website. This show's licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2016 by Chris Umfenauer. Good night, folks.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, we are clear of the record. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention?
The after show.
What's that?
I'm going to be Pendragon says I'm going to be passing through Chicago next Thursday morning.
Very nice.
And why does Bryling say there are 4 lights?
I bet if you wait long enough, the answer will come.
Yes. IHAM's first GPSR was a Magellan that only had 2 digits after the decimal point. Found 100 plus caches with that thing. Limax says, Dan, me too. A Magellan 310.
Nice.
Used that for about my first 10 caches. Had to enter everything manually. Wow. Remember those days?
I do.
It's a
STNG, huh?
STNG reference. There
Okay.
are 4 lights. It's time to Google. Oh. Wow. I remember that episode.
Mind games, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I forgot about that episode.
Now you'll have nightmares.
No. You mean different than I already have?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, folks, I appreciate you guys. We're both very tired.
It's been a long week.
It has been.
And we don't have a monkey.
We got the monkey off our back.
Oh, that was bad.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Almost as bad as my bash on the Cleveland Browns. But
B. Pendragon said what? The 24 Cleveland fans just cringed?
I saw that somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, the 24 Browns fans in the world just cringed in pain.
I have to
He
get
also says meteorologists and batters in baseball, the only place where you can miss 2/3 of the time and still be considered the best in your field.
Yeah. It's a fascinating thing.
I missed that one. IHAM says that thumping noise was the monkey being
Throwing the bus. I saw that.
Oh.
All right. It's late. I'm tired. Thanks, everybody. Next week will be better.
Really?
Maybe.
Okay. Thanks for putting me that pressure on me.
There's no guarantee. Well, isn't Land Monkey back next week?
Maybe.
There you go. We'll put the pressure on him.
Okay. Arrivederci, y'all.
Ciao.